guys, I'm back. I know there was a couple of days there that I didn't post any videos and I'm super sorry. However, I'm back today with chapter 6. Very exciting. Just as a refresher, last video we met Enzo and he was afraid of Eren for some reason, and that made Nick wonder if he should be afraid of Eren too. So I know it's been a couple days, so without further ado, we're just going to dive right into chapter 6. Eren and I are doing reconnaissance, which is a cooler way of saying we're doing research. That might make my scientist mother and journalist father proud if it were reconnaissance for science or journalism, but Eren and I are doing research for my fart machine. Okay, walk me through it one more time, Eren says. It's an audio-initiated voice manipulator programmed to distort the vocal reception based on total input. It's by far my most sophisticated machine to date, something I haven't had a lot of time to play with ever since Eren and I started spending every waking minute picking locks at the factory. To be honest, it feels good to be sharing something with Eren that I know how to do better than him. Eren presses the top of his head like it hurts. So, how does it work? I just told you, I said, trying not to get frustrated. No, you just said a bunch of words and strung them together into a sentence. That doesn't mean you explained anything. How do you know so much about locks and you can't follow the mechanics of an audio manipulator? How do you keep talking so much without making any sense? Boys, if you don't mind, I would prefer you maintain a peaceful tone in the store. My patrons have come to expect a heightened state of consciousness when they visit. Eren tries to stuff a laugh, but it escapes in a snort. I elbow his rib and shove him behind a display of healing crystals. Sorry, Mrs. Tillman. The natural grocer is the first place our reconnaissance has taken us. We're in need of supplies, and we have reason to believe we'll find the best ones here. Mrs. Tillman smiles a tight smile and returns with the stiffness of someone who commands herself to relax. Heightened state of consciousness? Eren hisses. Dude, quiet down. The only heightened anything in here are her wackadoodle prices. She used to buy goat cheese from the llama guy and let Girl Scouts sell her cookies under the awning. Goat cheese? I ask. Yeah, I guess he's got goats too. Anyway, that's not the point. Eren says she used to be nice. Then she goes on this silent retreat, doesn't talk for 2 weeks, and when she comes back, she's selling all these expensive, bogus vitamins and these $5 candy bars. He puts air quotes around candy bars, and I have to laugh because this is the first time I've ever seen Eren get vocally worked up about anything, and apparently he's got it out for phony, new age capitalism. I pick up a bar from the large end cap display. The bar is way heavier than it should be, and indeed it's marked $4.95, the word Serviva emblazoned across the packaging. Are these fart bars? Eren snorts again. Yeah, seriously, you've never smelled anything like it. Picture a toxic waste dump filled with dirty diapers and a sulfur pit. We each grab 3 bars before making our way to the counter. It's 6 weeks worth of allowance, but it's money well spent. All in the name of research. $32.95, Miss Tillman says, this time not even bothering with her tight smile. Thanks, Mrs. Tillman, Eren says, matching her frown with an extra wide smile. The drugstore by the square sells candy bars that might be more within your budget, she says before handing us a paper bag, and this time she does smile. On the way back to Eren's house, I turn to him. So we'll be testing out the audio synthesizer at the natural grocer. Absolutely, Eren says. Good, I say. Good, he says. That night, after 2 Serviva bars and Mom's famous cabbage rolls, I'm passing enough gas to rocket me to Mars. If only my audio synthesizer were complete, I'd be able to test it. But like a dummy, I left my power drill at Eren's house, and besides, he's the only one with a recorder. Just then, like it can hear my thoughts, the high whir of a drill floats across the street from the direction of Eren's house. Oh man, I grumble, stumbling towards the window. You're gonna burn out the battery. I haven't unpacked my charger yet, and because I sort of ignored Mom's warning to label all my boxes, it's anybody's guess where it is or when it'll turn up. I cut my hands against the window and peer across the street to Aaron's room, but his bedroom light is off. If he's messing with my drill, he's doing it somewhere else in the house. Since I'm way too bloated to go to sleep anytime soon, I slide my window open and pop the screen from its frame. The turquoise house came equipped with an unexpected bonus right outside my room. A trellis, sturdy enough to act as a ladder. I'm not exactly the kind of kid who sneaks out of a house when his parents are sleeping, but it's just across the street, and just to retrieve my drill. Besides, it's easier than waking my parents up and explaining why I need the drill anyway. I hear the whir of the drill again, but it stops by the time I'm across the street. The streetlight in front of my house flickers, and for a second I'm standing on Aaron's lawn in the dark. It's the first time I've been here this late at night, and it occurs to me that I haven't been invited. The light in Aaron's room is still off, and suddenly it feels like I've gone from hanging out to trespassing. The drill revs up again, and I see the faintest light seeping out from the crack of the basement door. The streetlights flicker back on, and I feel myself standing closer to the boarded-up basement door than I realized I was. I peer closer at the myriad of locks. Only what I see now that I'm closer is more unsettling than any lock. There are handprints all over the door, smears of black grease that creep around the edge of the door. Half covered by boards and bolts, some with tiny scratches at the tips of the fingers like claw marks made by dragging fingernails. Suddenly the drill's motor cuts out and the whir sputters, the telltale sign of a dying battery. Then a heavy footfall lands on the steps leading up from the basement, methodically making their way up the stairs, straight for the door. I bolt as fast as I can across the street, the streetlight clicking off just as I reach my house, and all at once I can't see the trellis against the wall. I hear the rattle of locks behind me, thumping against the heavy basement door as they're slowly unlocked. Groping through the vines in my front yard, I finally find a wooden slat and grab hold of it, wedging my foot in the one beside it before pulling myself up to the window. I reach the ledge of my windowsill just as the streetlight clicks on again. Just as I hear the basement door swing open behind me. I don't turn around. I fall through the open window and take cover on the floor, my heart pounding against the floorboards as I listen for movement across the street. Heavy footfalls thud against the grass, muffled in the humid, still night. The air is so dense, it feels like whoever is across the street is stealing my breath. The footsteps leave the grass and move to the sidewalk, closer, their soles cracking over the tiny pebbles on the asphalt. I squeeze my eyes shut and wait for whoever is outside my window to say something, to clamp onto the trellis and climb into my room, to laugh, to do anything at all. Instead, the person with the heavy step stands perfectly still in the middle of the road, waiting. I don't know how much time passes. Maybe a minute, maybe an hour. All I know is that just when I think I'm going to die of suffocation from all that thick air, the steps recede to the sidewalk, and then to the lawn, then to the basement door, where the hinges creak to a close and the locks secure whatever secret is worth locking up in Aaron's basement. I peer over the windowsill, and when I'm sure no one is still lying in wait in the middle of the street, I resecure my screen and close the window. I lock the latch, but I wish I had a few more locks than that. It wasn't Aaron, I'm positive of that. Whoever wanted me to know that they knew I was there, they had a much heavier step, a heavier frame. Bigger bones, I whisper, and a chill rattles my whole body. Because whatever Mr. Peterson is doing in his basement, he wants to make sure I know it's none of my business. There's no doubt in my mind. Tonight was a warning from my new friend's dad. And Mr. Peterson doesn't strike me as the type of person to warn somebody twice. All right, guys, that was chapter 6. That was kind of a quick one compared to chapter 5, especially. But a lot happened. Wow, it was really creepy. Aaron already said that the basement was off limits, and he was kind of weird about it. And now we see Mr. Peterson working in the basement with a drill in the middle of the night. And then he like comes out all threatening, standing in the middle of the street. He knew Nick was there. So yeah, I don't know. There's definitely something going on with Eren's dad. All right. Well, tune back in next time for chapter 7. I promise it won't be so many days next time I post. And, all right, have a great Saturday, guys. Miss you. Oh, by the way, we are doing appointments starting pretty soon. So pretty soon you'll be able to come into the library again. And it'll be different, but we're working really hard to make sure that we can have books and services available for you guys. So hope to see you guys in a couple weeks maybe. All right, bye.